Welcome to Path to Peace with Todd Perlmutter. I'm your host, Todd Perlmutter. Our world is a projection of our collective consciousness. The more peace we bring into our lives, the more peace we bring into this world. So let the transformation begin. Curiosity is a wonderful thing. It is part of being human. It is the reason human beings stepped out of Africa and explored and settled the entire world. Fundamentally, we are all here to learn, to grow, and to explore. Today, the problem is that our curiosity is being turned against us and used as a weapon. Our lives are being hijacked because external forces have turned our own curiosity against us. They say we live in the attention economy, and attention is more valuable than gold. So, countless large industries are vying for our attention, and they are using our curiosity against us. And so we need to be aware not of the dangers of curiosity, but the dangers of unconscious curiosity. Those powerful forces understand what gets us to click, what gets us obsessed, what will stir up our emotions in order to engage for long periods of time, to invest emotionally, and to always be refreshing our feed to see what new updates come out. Intellectual curiosity, intentional, guided, conscious curiosity is so important and can take us extremely far in life. But unguided, unintentional, unconscious curiosity can waste our whole life on this or that, social media or other useless endeavor that will get us nowhere. It is that unconscious impulse we all have when there's a car accident and it causes traffic on the other side of the highway because everybody's slowing down to look. We all can't help but look at a train crash or any other disaster because deep down it taps into that survival instinct. We want to make sure we're okay. We want to make sure that the danger is over. Whenever we see danger, we want to look, we want to analyze, we want to see if there's any lesson to be learned so we can avoid it. And that is why the news is produced and written the way it is. That is why shows, posts are crafted the way they are. And most often we don't even know why we're clicking on something, why we're downloading, why we're watching. And pretty quickly, we are inundated with this infinite amount of content, all designed to grab our attention, all promising us maximum results or showing us some horrible news that we just feel is too important to look away. Maybe we know every stat in every major sports league. We know every player's name and number, but we don't have a clue who we really are deep down, or maybe why we're suffering, or even that we're suffering, let alone what is really going on with our friends and our loved ones. So two things really become vital when we start to examine our curiosity and the nature of that curiosity. And number one is we need the time to reflect. For reflection on what we've done with our day, what we've done in our free time, how we are spending our time. Are we using it in the way that enriches our life to be the way we truly want it to be? Or do we find ourselves getting distracted? Do we find ourselves wasting time on unimportant things that maybe are fun for a moment, but maybe after that it doesn't add anything to our life? It doesn't make us happier. It just kind of zaps us out of our life for a little bit, and then we come back in and life is stressful. We haven't really changed, and we haven't improved our life. So much of what we do is like eating unhealthy food. It's a moment of pleasure, but then as soon as it's over, it's like it never even happened, but we have to live with the consequences and results of our actions. It can kind of pull our attention so strongly that we kind of go into a trance, almost leave our body. We have no mindfulness anymore. We have no awareness of our breath or body or surroundings, and we're totally absorbed by the activity, by the intense, hyper-stimulating content or activity we're engaged in. And so it's vital to really look back and reflect. What is it doing for me? How do I feel afterwards? Is it improving my life? Do I even remember what I've done after it's over? What is the nature of the experience after it's over? Is it a state of impatience and longing to get back to it? Or is it fulfillment and satisfaction? If we don't create this time for reflection, we will waste so much of our lives on social media posts that we don't remember 10 minutes later, or on sports or gossip or other unimportant bits of information that don't improve our lives, that have no relevance to us. Not that there's not a place to enjoy these things. There certainly is. There's certainly a richness in life that comes from enjoying all that life has to offer. It's about unconsciously doing the things. It's about compulsively and mindlessly being taken advantage of by techniques designed to get us scrolling longer than we intended to go down a rabbit hole of information that we didn't mean to cause us to spend our time in another way than we were hoping to. It's the difference between freely enjoying something and being enslaved by that thing. Today, we see all too often sports interest turn into gambling addiction, made so much easier by being on our phones. And now everything's on our phone. And it doesn't matter if we're gambling or we're just into sports or gossip news or shopping or watching or listening or reading. Whatever we use to escape, to satisfy that urge for curiosity, steals the potential of our life if it is unconscious, unguided, and unintentional. And whatever we use, we need more of it and more of it to scratch that itch. And pretty soon, we find it very, very difficult to stop and to come back to ourselves. We usually only reflect on a very big problem in our lives, on something huge that really takes our attention for us. And we don't give ourselves enough time to reflect at the end of every day on how we spent our time, how we spent our energy, and how we spent our attention. And it is one of the most important things we can do. In the old days, reflection was kind of mandatory. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have streaming services. You had to go to the library if you wanted all the information in the world, which is now on your computer and phones. And it really is such a vital aspect of mental health, of well-being, and of simply creating a life that we love, of remembering the stillness, of decompressing, and most importantly, processing the experiences of our day. It doesn't just happen in sleep, where we convert the memories that we had in that day to either short-term for deletion or long-term for keeping. So much happens just in our day when we have time and space without being rushed to think and reflect. And if we do this every day for just a little bit, to think about, what did I click on? What do I remember? How much was worth my time? How much did I waste? It's so important to understanding if our curiosity and our life is being hijacked, or if it is the life we are intentionally creating. Step 2, equally as important as reflecting on the direction our curiosity has been going and the nature of its level of consciousness, is to prioritize, to really think about what we want out of life. What do we have our most passion for? What, when we are not trying to escape life, when we are not stressed or in the middle of escaping life, what do we really want to know more about? What do we really want to improve our wisdom about? What do we want to further our understanding into? What do we want to get better at? And who do we want our wisdom and skills to benefit? That answer will be different for everybody. But tapping into our own intellectual curiosity, our own desire to learn and grow and explore this universe with our mind, is innate in every single one of us. There is so much to know and understand about the nature of these bodies, these minds, that quality of spirit within us, the cosmos and underlying structures of existence itself, our history and mythology and where we came from, and even the simple joys of cooking and gardening and art, which enrich our surroundings and the quality of life for our loved ones. It could be building a business, learning about an industry or a job position, learning finance or economics or a million other fascinating topics that we could spend a lifetime in each one learning about, that would all add a richness to our lives. And we live in the most exciting time to be alive, with the most information all available at our fingertips. University courses are freely available, and there is no more important area of interest as living beings who see the world through a mind than to look back on and study that incredible mind and what it means to see through that, to have one, and find out what it is. This thing through which we learn about everything else that makes all of existence possible. It is the root cause of our intellectual curiosity. And as we dig deep into any subject, we come back to that source that makes the awareness, the consciousness, the learning possible. At the foundation of quantum physics itself, the existence of the universe on the microscopic scale, we see consciousness as giving rise to everything. And without curiosity, imbued with consciousness, we can become manically obsessive, the mad scientist, the tortured artist, the hopelessly searching for answers, never being satisfied, uncomfortable with the unknown, arrogant, distracted, egotistical, and close-minded. But if that curiosity is infused with conscious awareness, it becomes mindful. It becomes a source of joy to play in the wonder of life and the universe. The most miraculous and mysterious part of our existence that we get to ponder with never all the answers, with never getting the certainty we want. But thank God for that, because we get to explore our curiosity with awe and amazement for our entire life and for the rest of eternity. And if that is all we do with our lives, that would be enough. To know ourself is to know the universe, and to know the universe is to know ourself. And that is why we're here. We just have to make sure that our curiosity is not being wasted on what someone else wants us to focus on, what someone else wants us to think about, what someone else is trying to distract us from something that our higher self knows to be much more important. To make sure that our lives are conscious, that we are choosing how we spend our day instead of the day choosing how we spend it. The average person will spend about 5.5 years just on social media. If you assume that person sleeps at night, then that is actually 7.3 years of waking life. That is a long time. That is a lot of books, a lot of degrees, a lot of books you could write, and a lot of time you could spend with your friends, your family, making your community stronger, more beautiful, and meditating, looking inward, connecting to the stillness, the peace, and the joy that lies within every single one of us. When our curiosity is unconscious, we feel like we have no time. It's just like, where did it go? We don't even have the awareness of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and where our time is going. We feel busy, busier than ever, like there's no time for anything. And yet we really have all the time in the world. We really do have so much energy and time and attention that we could put towards anything we truly care about. We can truly create the life of our dreams instead of being used as products for building other people's dreams. Like the trees and every other species on this planet, we are here and meant to grow. And when we are growing, when we are expanding, exploring, learning, and even failing, but getting back up and keep marching towards success, we know we are living our purpose. We know we are doing what we are meant to do. We know we are living our life to the fullest. We are cherishing, honoring, respecting every sacred moment that we are alive. And that is always the greatest use of our time. Thank you so much for listening. I know there are a lot of distractions in our lives. We're all pulled in a million different directions, and it's really hard to stay centered and balanced. It's very easy to get lost in the chaos and to forget to focus on what truly matters and how blessed we really are. And that is why I write my weekly Path to Peace newsletter, for those reminders when the storm is very strong, to come back to ourselves, to find that stillness within, and become that source of peace for ourselves and our loved ones. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe at eastwesticism.org. The link is in the description. And make sure you take a little time out for the person most important in your life every week, yourself. Thank you so much again. Much love. Is there more to this universe than science can show us? Is there anything mystical or miraculous in the remote corners of the earth that I could see with my own two eyes? My newest book, Aloneness to Oneness, is that journey of discovery. From the rebellious kid who rejected it all, to the adult searching for something deeper, to the person I am today. It is all of the stories, wisdom, lessons, insights, and inspirations I gained on this adventure. If you've ever questioned, doubted, or wondered about the meaning of it all, this book is for you.